We cut everything off here, so the ball had to come back to Vita. So we took away the run game with these guys right here initially because he got up the
And who was
field.
this?
That was Sue, and this was Vita.
So they had run here.
and
Sue
he
was
went
going to
up the
turn
field
it
and cut it
back
all off and turned it back. And Levante and Devin field every single
Wow.
time, and Shaq and JP were outside. Then when they had to throw the ball, what we tried to do, and I think the first time he got out because Devin messed it up, whether it was a 4-3 or 3-4, we ran him all the way over on the hump, and we ran him up and under. And we flushed him out.
And he was going to be
all
the
the way
chase
out
guy.
to the other side, and he was the chase guy.
So almost making Mahomes
It was
go
Devin
that
at
way.
times, and it was Shaq and JPP at times, and we flushed him out the other way, and we tried to take away his right hand by putting him out the other side. Well, those were the two things we did. We showed him pressure early on. We showed pressure. We gave him a 3-3 look, and we took away Tyreek Hill. So we had corner, safety. We had an end, we had the nose, we had the other end. We had two backers here. We had the nickel here. Where we at? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we had 11. So we had 3 safeties, matter of fact. So we looked like that. And we tried to deter the deep ball just by looking at them. So whether we fire zoned them and sent 5, whether it was here, and drop this guy down and move him to the third and drop him down and to the hook 3 and put him here and put him back, we had it covered.
So this is Tyreek.
That was Tyreek.
So it looks to the quarterback like
Every
I got
time.
double coverage. I can't throw a deep
Every
ball to
single
him.
time. That was the thing every single time. So we played a version of that, and we played it back here. So we took it away. Sometimes it was cover 2, but he was the half, he was the middle runner, and then he was the curl, and he was the cloud player. We showed it early. We showed it about 3 or 4 times, but most of the time we played a 4 down front like that. And we've had a spy, or we played on Mahomes, and we played 2-man on Kelsey. And what we did, because they did a lot of motion with Tyreek in the first game, he killed us. Any 2x2, we kind of knew where he was. If he was outside, we played 2-man. If he was inside, we played quarters man. If he was outside over here, we played 2-man. If they went to 3x1, we played zone. If he was on the 3 side, we kicked the coverage to him, and we played 1-on-1 back there. If he was on the 1 side, we doubled him here, and we played a quarters concept over there. So we took him away, and nobody ran. So they were running when they were motioning. They were going from man to zone and zone to man. And if you were off on the outside, they threw him the 5-yard stop. So we were playing 2-man, so they were jumping it. And if you were on the outside, they threw the fades, and that's all we did. That was.
Now, you learned that from the first game, right? You took
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of notes
I
from the
saw
first
that
game.
in the second quarter.
What was the big thing that you felt like after watching that first game, we've got to change or we've got to take away?
He had so much speed, and he got downfield so fast. Even if we were 1-on-1 with him, eventually he was going to outrun the corner. And I said, we had to top this guy. And it was funny because we thought Kelsey did not get the ball in 3x1. He had to get it on the backside of 3x1, but he was Mahomes' scramble. He was the scramble guy, but he wasn't the primary route runner. He didn't have routes to beat you, but he had safety net routes that could kill you that way. So we tried to keep an eye on him with Levante, and everything worked out, and they studied it. And I knew probably the second, third quarter, the first time we played them, that if I ever played them again, we would do X, Y, and Z. And then we ended up playing them. And so it was kind of already in my head. And I took them in the film. I was like, look, this is the game plan. We're going to keep this real simple, and this is what we're going to do. And those guys did a heck of a job of executing, and they really got after it up front.
What I love about this is the fact that you could look at 50 plays in the game and say, okay, this is what we need to take away. This is what they're doing. I don't have to worry about any runs on this side of the field. I'm going to defend the runs over here. Okay, Tyreek Hill can be here, or here, and I've got a different plan for him. That's what we've got to stop, and that's how we're going to do it. And everybody being able to understand it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's, to me, that's what the game is all about.
Yes.
But you got to have smart players
Yes,
to do
you
that.
do.
Right?
Yes, you do.
I love this rush plan because it reminds me of when we played mobile quarterbacks. And you know that you can't stop everything.
Yes.
So, okay, we're going to force them one direction. If he can beat us going to the left, then he's better than we are.
Yes, he is.
But we're going to take away what he does best and defend this side of the field. And the guys understand it. Hey, I might not have a big day all day, but my job is to make sure he doesn't get out this way.
That's exactly right.
And to have unselfish players that'll say,
That's exactly right. And they sacrificed. And that's what helped us win.
Well, the Buccaneers, to me, were always built on defense.
Yeah.
When you take the first pick that we ever made, and it's Leroy Selman.
Yes.
And that tells you what we're going to be all about. And there's been a history of great players up here up front. And that's, to me, Buccaneer football. That's where it starts. And you took this to another level and took it to a Super Bowl, but took advantage of all those guys' talents and made it work. And it's been fun to watch.
Defense wins championships. And like he said, the first guy we drafted was Leroy Selman in Bucs history. And you look at the Super Bowl, they won with Gruden, with Sapp and Brooks and everybody else. And those guys Tony brought in there. Those are the guys that Tony brought in with Rondé and Lynch and all those guys. And Simeon, they had a superb defensive front, defensive backs, and linebackers. And they didn't need a lot of scoring. They created a lot of scoring with the turnovers. So what I try to do is emulate it probably in a different way. You know, the game has changed some as to how it's being run and how calls are being made, but turnovers and sacks still count in this league. Turnovers win ball games, and to be a defense like they had with all those turnovers is something that I try to emulate all the time.
And to me, you know, we've had great offenses, we've had great defenses, but the defense has been the Bucs calling card. And the first Super Bowl, as you mentioned, it's Sapp and Brooks and Simeon and pressure and Dexter Jackson and interceptions and shutting down a high-powered Oakland offense. And then you guys' Super Bowl, the second one, yes, Tom was fantastic and you appreciate that, but it was this design and taking this high-powered Kansas City offense and knocking them around the field for 60 minutes. And I mean, that is, to me, that's Buck ball.
Buck ball it is.